Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day or a great night, depending on when you're listening to this. This will be a weekly reading for the week of July 20th through the 26th, and during that time, we'll have a waning crescent moon. And a waning crescent is a really good time for surrender, rest, healing, just a really good time to let go and get ready for the new cycle ahead. And that, of course, arrives with the new moon on the 25th. So, new moon is a good time. It's a fresh start, good time for new things. So, new beginnings, starting new projects, thinking new thoughts, making new decisions, that sort of thing. So keep those moon energies in mind, Aquarius, as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, of course. So please take what resonates, Aquarius, and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right. And your overall message for this reading, Aquarius: adjustments are required. All right, let's see what you guys have going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to let you know that my weekly reminder this week is that you get out in nature. This could be just get out, take a walk, take a hike somewhere, find a really nice park or somewhere that has a lovely view, and climb up to that view if you need to. But take the time to really stop and just connect with the miracle of nature. Just study a tree or a plant, maybe for longer. If you're like me, I study the birds and the little animals. I've got I like to feed the animals, so in the yard here, and we do have a nice, beautiful, big backyard that I've spent years turning it into a park. And I'll just briefly, we would take the kids camping when the kids were younger, and I was like, why isn't our backyard like a campground? And so that was kind of our goal, was to make it like that, and it's like that. So, but all through the day, we've got hummingbirds that come out, and other birds that I'm feeding, and then all of a sudden here come the squirrels, and of course they're hilarious to watch. And then there's late in the evening, here come the bunnies, and as dusk arrives, then the lightning bugs come out. So it goes on all day, I'm sure. And at night, occasionally we've been out there, and in fact, we were out there a few weeks ago, and someone saw a possum run through the yard. It was scaring some people that were over, and that was pretty funny. But raccoons, that sort of thing. We see a deer occasionally. But anyway, my reminder is that I don't know, I'm rambling, but get out in nature. It's just really fun to connect with nature, and just study for something, and just marvel in the miracle. So, all right, Aquarius, I'm so sorry. Without further ado, I will quit rambling and let's get to this reading. Aquarius, July 20th through the 26th. Adjustments are required. All right, your present energy, Aquarius, is Five of Swords. So looks like some words have been exchanged here with someone. Your situation may involve other people this week. Looks like, did you say something and maybe feelings were hurt, or was something said to you maybe and feelings were hurt? So, um, that looks to be the general energy that we're starting off with. Your current situation is that you're feeling rather indulgent here with the Nine of Cups. So, words exchanged, but feeling indulgent. Maybe maybe exchanging words like that was indulgent for you. Maybe there were things that needed to be said somewhere, and you're just feeling pretty satisfied with yourself that you did that. That maybe it took some. Maybe it just took something that again that needed to be said, and it took something out of or something that you had to call upon to be able to do that, and you feel pretty satisfied and pretty happy with yourself that you were able to get those words out there. At the root of your situation is the Wheel of Fortune. So, this is about you evolving, changing. We're all constantly doing that, and sometimes a situation like that where maybe you needed to be brave, and again pull on something from within yourself to say things that just needed to be said. And this could be things that it's some maybe taken you years to come to have the courage to say this, or it's taken you years to develop these skills to be able to say this. And I know, thinking about myself, my own history, there was a time when I was pretty young, just starting in the workforce when I was, probably my early 20s, and I would just be so afraid of like authority figures, be they male, female, probably more male, but and the very first time that I had to stand up to a male authority figure, and it was so empowering. And I was right. I was right to stand up, and actually he admitted that I was calling the entire situation right, and it was just very empowering. Like, oh, I can do that. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here, that maybe something had to be said, and it took you, some time and energy and effort and work to be able to be the person that said the thing that needed to be said. And that's why you're feeling indulgent. But again, this is you evolving. This is the wheel of fortune. This is you, collecting new skills in your life, and it's just you becoming a better version of yourself that needs to be done. All right. In your recent past is the Six of Cups. So, this could be something having to do with family, maybe for you, or this is a lot of times this is our card of nostalgia. So you're thinking about your childhood, or something related to your childhood, or this could be something maybe with, a friend, a sibling, something with a family member, or something, again, that you had to work up the courage to say the thing. And I'm glad you did. I think it needed to be said. I'm getting that feeling. So what's on your mind? Not only do we have the Wheel of Fortune, but we've got the World card. So on your mind is you're just feeling really good about this. The world card is about perfect balance. It's the end of the major arcana. It's the end of the fool's journey. It's where you get to when you have accomplished something, and now you get to move forward with like this new skill set. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a fool pops out right here. It's like, because once you've reached the end of something, and you reach an area where you've learned something and you've accomplished how to do it well, now that sets you off onto a new journey, because now you're, each little thing that we all learn, now you're evolving, and it's like time for the new journey to come up. So we'll see what happens here. Is what's just ahead of you is the Knight of Wands. So this is you, having action, passionate action, which, could be those words exchanged, but also it could be that, the passionate action is your new path. This is how you move forward. It's kind of, it's just lit a fire under you, that it bolstered your confidence to be able to do this, and to be satisfied with yourself about doing it, and just positive. So I like that too. What is in your advice position is be happy about it. 10 of Cups, the happiest card on the, your advice is to go ahead and revel in, if you had to get whatever this was off of your chest, go ahead and revel in the lightness of how that feels, and just enjoy the moment for right now. Just, and indulge, again, be self-indulgent a little bit, pat yourself on the back. But here you are making big changes here with the Wheel of Fortune and the World card, and moving forward in a very positive way, and go ahead and enjoy that. That's what that means in your advice position, isn't just be happy for a little bit. um and again, if adjustments are required, you may need to make some minor adjustments, but it looks like you're just really, really on the right path right now, Aquarius, which is really awesome. What is beyond your control this week? It's maybe a little bit of indecision uh, with something. So don't make any decisions. Again, revel in that happiness. There's no need to let anything press on you. Just go ahead and begin, thinking, meditating on something. If you've got, some sort of choices, again, or adjustments to make, you can start to think about those, and you can take your time. There should be no rush in coming to any sort of decision about anything. Just take your time with it, right? Look at this calm waters behind this person that's kind of sitting um, in that energy of having to decide. It's okay that your emotions are very calm as you do it, and that's really that's where to make decisions. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is another two here coming out with the Two of Pentacles. So this is a card of kind of just juggling and keeping everything in the air. Is that your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid kind of doing that? The water behind this card is very much opposite what we just looked at with the Two of Swords there. Look how calm this water is, but look how crazy the water of the Two of Pentacles is. This is just up and down. Life is crazy. So maybe you're trying to avoid that in your current situation, which I would agree with. But this will be your big question of the week is, are you trying to keep things in the air, or are you trying to kind of just maintain those calm emotional um, waters by, and maybe ignoring something that you shouldn't be. Also, since that's another two, you may want to look up the angel number 22 and see if that has anything to do with your situation this week. In your outcome position is the Ace of Wands. So yeah, it looks like you're about to approach all of this in the universe, with a new passion. This may be a new way of being, a new outlook on things, and it could again just light your fire, like I said, with this Knight of Wands here. But here comes the Ace of Wands and says, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with this newfound passion? And it could be that if you learn how to stand up for yourself, it may be time that you're approaching your relationships differently. Maybe this affects how your job situation. It could affect your romantic situation. It could affect friendship situations, that you're just a little bit stronger and having the clarity and your little voice. I just get this feeling of like, your little voice that was trying to come through has finally come through very clearly. And I think it's a really nice way to evolve and to end up in this perfect balance. It's just the end of a journey there. Let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck this week. So what's hidden from you this week is a new perspective. So it might take a little bit for all of this, to sink in with you again, and you may still be making adjustments that make you comfortable with this new perspective. But do look up angel number 22, see if that has anything to do with your situation, and we'll see if that perspective change maybe happens next week. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see, a full card. I'm kind of surprised to not see it in this reading, but it means it could be coming next week. Go ahead and sit in this happiness right now. There's no need to make big changes this week. Slight adjustments, yes. We'll see about next week. So, all right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final word for Aquarius here is make better choices. That's never bad advice for any of us, right? Oops, knock that card over. So make sure you're making better choices. That could be here while you're kind of sitting in that indecisive area. There may be some choices that you're struggling with right now, and just relax yourself through them. Just make that pro con list. Just give yourself time to really think about things when you're trying to make adjustments and changes. All right, this is the self-care wisdom cards. Let's see, what does Aquarius need to do in the way of self-care? The card that comes out for you is the love card. Look how pretty. I love these cards. Love people. Love them with all your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Very nice. So yeah, love yourself first, Aquarius. I mean, it looks like you do deserve a pat on the back. Indulge a little bit too. It looks like you did something that was rather hard, and you said the thing that needed to be said. That's not always an easy thing to do. And it's just gonna kind of spur on your new passion. Like, it's almost like you have a new voice, and if not a new voice, definitely a new way of using your voice. So I really appreciate your time here with me today, Aquarius. Of course, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what's going on with you this week. What did you have to make adjustments? Word exchange, did this make sense for you this week? I do readings every week, so come back next time and we'll see if that full shows up in your reading next week. I would be very curious to know that. Also, if you like my reading style, of course, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, Aquarius, it'll help you find me next week. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.